I'm gonna title this video Copic Collection Mayhem because I have a problem. I genuinely have an addiction and I can't stop. I promised you guys I would stop. I broke my promise. Also.
Baby.
Baby.
Baby's visiting too.
Yes!
Yeah.
Oh,
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
She got me. She's got me. I'm defeated. Oh my god. It was a psych out. She's here for vengeance. Oh my goodness. They're just so cute. Hey, Sarah, why are we in a sports store?
Alex.
Oh, yes, because Krista and Alex came to visit. What's up? Welcome back. Wish it was under bad circumstances, but still. Yeah. Also.
Baby.
Baby.
Baby's visiting too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Proud of both of you.
Thank you.
He's too busy. He's focusing on the thrill of the hunt.
Thrill of the hunt.
So check out my new ring. What do you think? Might be a little too big. I might grow into it. I thought about getting the Tampa Bay one, but I'm short. I can't get that. Look at that. That's too high. It's way too high. But this, I don't know what this is. I'm not a sports guy, but it feels right. Do. Your chin hang low. Okay, I'll stop.
I had to back up for that whole view.
I love how she's just somehow started there, bottom, ended up there. Started there, then got up there, because she is a mighty little cocoa bean. Guess what we're doing? We're gonna go see Dungeons and Dragons. Yeah! I was just gonna pirate it, but I want to go do the full movie experience because, well, I don't like the OGL license, and I think they're a scummy company. I still am a D&D fan at heart, and we're gonna try and get a popcorn bucket.
Exactly.
Yes.
And Josh just confirmed on air that he would pirate the movie, landing his channel in deep legal trouble. More at 10.
That's actually a good point. It is late. There are very few people in the parking lot. It's kind of creepy. First impressions, we just talked about it, but tell the people.
It was really good. I think it's honestly probably my favorite movie so far this year, and it's pretty good.
Honestly, yeah. You know, we're going to ignore the controversy that Wizards of the Coast have gotten themselves into being foolish, but I'm going to be honest. I really like this movie. As someone who has played not a lot in D&D, but a lot of like role-play games, a lot of tabletop games, it felt like it captured the spirit of a D&D game. And I loved it. I had a lot of fun. Me and my friends are currently doing 2 D&D campaigns, and we're doing 1 cyberpunk campaign. It's not actually based off of cyberpunk. It is actually one that one of my friends directly created, and it was based off of this own world. It is a cyberpunk genre D&D game. I know you guys can't see me, but you're just gonna have to go with the audio on this.
You can't see me!
You can't see me! I really have a lot of fun doing tabletop. I have a lot of fun doing roleplay. And while I'm not involved in the 2 D&D campaigns they're doing right now, I will be doing the Pathfinder campaign that's coming up later this year. And this really got me in the spirit of it. I have like a lot of really cool ideas for characters, and I really enjoyed it. It was a fun adventure. The director going on like his whole rampage on like, oh, the main characters are rolling critical ones unless they're like it was so stupid the way he was promoting the movie, because it's not like that at all. It was a really good fun ride. I will say, if you're a hardcore D&D fan, check it out. Now, if you are a casual fan or you play it once in a while, I would recommend seeing it in theaters if you have a group of friends. Like, if you have a group of friends that you guys do D&D with, that you're in the same area, go for it. If not, I probably would wait for it to go on streaming, just because for me personally, a lot of my friends that I D&D with, they live in other states. So that's kind of how I feel on it. We're going to try and navigate our way home. You can hear the GPS, but I'm really happy that we saw this. So thank you so much for going with me, Alex. You're the best. Because I have the best brother-in-law in the world. Yeah. Your dad and uncle. Oh,
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
the edges are ready.
Go!
The edges are ready. Set. You.
Go, Woody, go! Come on, Woody! Go!
It's not a little place to lay. It's a wrestling ring. The dogs are fighting. They're fighting to the death. Oh my goodness, they're so adorable. Sarah, who do you think will win? Oh, never mind. I think Coco force fed. Woody, you win. Oh no, she was a psych out. She's here for vengeance. Oh my goodness. They're just so cute. So I'm in the back seat in your car. You guys are driving.
Actually,
we're going to the movie theaters.
We're kind of in the middle seat.
Okay, we're in the middle. The point is you guys are in front and we're going to the movies. This feels very much at home. So what movie are we going to see today?
Super Mario Brothers.
I am so hyped. It's funny because we saw D&D and I got the Mario popcorn bucket. How funny would it be if I ended up getting the D&D popcorn bucket going to Mario? That would be hilarious. That would be funny. Anyway, we didn't get a chance to talk about it, but you guys are in town and you're visiting because we need to be with family because of stuff. And it has been very awesome having you guys here, and we've gone swimming a lot, so that's why there's a lot of footage of Coco and Woody in the pool. It is good to have you guys here. Look out, there's a speed bump! Boom! Anyway, so we're gonna go see Mario. We're gonna get our first honest impressions. I'm so excited. Afterwards, do you guys want to walk around the mall or just go home?
Well, walking around the mall and maybe getting a late dinner if we're hungry.
I'm cool with that because I didn't eat. Well, I did eat, but then I got sick and threw it up. Look at this little dude! This little dude! Krista, what'd you think of the movie?
It was really good.
I loved it. I thought it was amazing. Honestly, I think it's my favorite movie of the year. I liked it more than Dungeons and Dragons.
Wow.
This was a great, just beautiful animation. Let's get the opinion of Alexander. Alex, the Great. Tell me real quick. Do you like the movie? Yes? Good. Coco, you didn't see the movie, so your opinion is now involved. I knew you liked it. I'm gonna go bother someone else. Like
Woody
Mr.
liked it too.
Woody. He didn't even go.
He didn't have to. He just knew it was amazing.
He is a very magical
a
dog.
baby.
He's a magical dog. The limits of his mind have yet to been found or known. What's up, guys? So, first of all, my beard is extremely bushy. Yes, look at this beard. It's very, very nice. It's very bushy. It's too bushy, in fact. It's very hot in Tampa, as you can imagine, and I need to get it trimmed, so I'm probably gonna do that later today. And I am up stupid early. It is currently 8:30. Well, 8:32, and yeah, I got up early because Krista and Alex left back for Virginia, and I have to say, I was so happy that they got a chance to visit. I'm so happy they were here. It really did help with everything going on. For those of you who are either curious or wanting an update, March 27th, my grandfather died, and I was very close to my grandfather. First off, I'm really appreciative to all my friends, family, and my co-workers that just, were there giving me that support, which was awesome. I'm doing good. Just having my sister and my brother-in-law here really helped with that. They're just amazing, super awesome people, and I'm so lucky to have an amazing sister. I'm so lucky to have an amazing brother-in-law. A lot of guys don't like their brother, but I have the best brother-in-law in the world. So very nice to have them here. Unfortunately, because they were here, I didn't get a chance to film any videos, but that's okay because I just hung out with them and I needed that time. And also, filming was a little chaotic. Normally I like to do this or just film little funny things, but we had a lot of fun. We went swimming like almost every day, and we learned that the dogs can swim. Coco is terrified of the water, which is hilarious, and Woody is super just like willing to jump in the pool, which is terrifying but also funny because growing up I was that kid. I would jump in the pool and Krista was terrified of the water, so I find it funny how our dogs are opposite to our personalities. Very interesting. So overall, it was a really good week. It was a good family week, and I am just super thankful for everything that is going on. With that said though, I do have some loot, and we did see some movies, so we talked a little bit about it. I just kind of want to give my full opinion on the movies real quick before I get into the loot. I'm going to start with Shazam, which Shazam 2 was definitely a movie that I was disappointed with. There were a lot of things I liked about it, and let me say this. It is an okay movie, but it should have been amazing. The first one, in my opinion, is better, and I do like how they continued the story. I do like how the story was progressed. I like how they explored different parts of the Rock Eternity. I really like the progression of Billy's character, and everyone's character, like Freddy's character, Mary's character, all of them. They really progressed in a really good way. The world itself was still really cool. My main complaint is the villains. For one, there is not a lot of development with the villains. The daughters of Atlas were kind of really vague. Like, I feel like they're more Wonder Woman villains. Now, I'm not a Shazam expert. I know a lot about the character, but I don't know everything, so maybe they are more associated with Shazam. They felt like Wonder Woman villains to me. On top of that, like, why them? Why couldn't we do Mr. Mind? We can't do Black Adam because The Rock has an ego the size of Texas and didn't want to actually fight Shazam, so why would you play the character that's most associated with fighting Shazam? Oh wait, he wanted to do a Superman crossover, which isn't happening because, again, again, The Rock's ego is so big, it doomed every chance of that happening. So I felt like Mr. Mime should have been the villain. They set him up again, but let's be real, this is a dead universe because they're rebooting with James Gunn, and James Gunn is a master crafter. He's going to do an amazing job. I believe that he's really the guy that's going to save the DC animated movies. So, okay, cool, but it's a shame because this movie should have been really good. I get what they were going for. They were going for the over-the-top, just crazy kid adventure, and it was so close. There were certain things that didn't line up, but the jokes were funny. The way they did the characters were really cool. I liked the progression of the story. I liked the actual advancements of the characters. The character development was really good. And again, the effects were phenomenal. I actually think the effects were really, really good. Would have liked to see more practical effects, but the digital effects and all of the CGI was really good. It was very little of it actually looked fake. The acting was really good. I was just really disappointed because I felt like we could have just gone full into the ultimate kid fantasy adventure, and it just kind of held itself back, which is really disappointing. The second movie I saw was D&D, and I have to say, guys, getting the controversy out of the way, I was very burnt by the OGL license. It definitely was something where it really affected my love for the game. Now, I am not a huge D&D guy. I've only played it like 11 or 12 times, but I'm a huge RPG guy. I play a ton of Blue Rose, a ton of Pathfinder, I play a ton of Star Wars, and we're almost always playtesting a new RPG system that my friend Aaron invents, because my group of friends that I met in college got me into role-playing, and it's a great way to hang out and just have fun, and we've done like countless sessions. We've had so much fun doing different games, different settings. We've done an Avatar setting that takes place 3 generations after Korra. That was a really fun story that Aaron came up with. And yes, I'm going to mention Aaron a lot. He is one of my good friends. He's the short guy that was in the Sam and Drew video right here, and I absolutely love him. We call him Hobbit. He is just a genius when it comes to coming up with different stories and concepts. He's a really talented guy, and we're playtesting a new game for him. It's a magic cyberpunk kind of style game. Really fun, really enjoyable. And this movie, the reason I'm bringing all this up is that this movie, despite all the controversy, did an amazing job capturing the feel playing Dungeons & Dragons, or just any RPG game. Like, I felt like I was watching what me and my friends would do in an RPG game. It was just amazing. The effects were phenomenal, both the digital and practical effects. There were tons of practical effects. The acting was great, and you know what? I know there's a lot of controversy over the OGL license, like that burned me. That really made it where I didn't want to support the movie. I didn't want to support Wizards of the Coast at all because of all, like, it felt very betraying, especially to the hardcore fans. Well, I'm not a hardcore fan. I know a lot of hardcore D&D fans, and I felt the betrayal that they got, and it really was just this passion for the game, and it felt like you were just being used, abused, and thrown away by the company. With that said, though, I still think the movie's really good and definitely worth checking out, especially if you have a group of friends that you personally play D&D or another RPG with. I would have loved to see this movie with my group of friends. The problem is we all live in different states. It is a really good movie. Like, the director, the way they were promoting the movie, for one, it's not accurate. They don't actually do that in the movie. 2, why would you promote the movie that way? And 3, you made this movie sound terrible. This movie is amazing. I'm not gonna lie, before I saw Super Mario's, this was my favorite movie of the year. I absolutely loved it. And again, controversies aside, I do think it is a phenomenal movie. Now on to Super Mario Bros., which is my favorite movie I've seen this year. This movie was amazing. I loved it. It was phenomenal. It was just a fun family adventure. And it kind of sucks that it's getting review bombed. I know there's some controversy. I know stuff with Chris Pratt. I don't care about it. You know why? Because I had a good time with the movie. I think maybe because I'm used to like people who play Cubans and Puerto Ricans just being white dudes with tans or being Mexican, and I'm over here like, well, I never get represented. So I guess for me, it just didn't bother me that some white dude was doing an Italian accent. I don't know, maybe I'm just weird. Maybe I'm just used to my race being overlooked and ignored, but you know what? I had a lot of fun. I thought it was a really good movie. I thought it was a very fun adventure. It was very faithful to the games. I'm a huge Nintendo fan. I love the art direction of it. While I'm not a huge gamer and I didn't grow up playing a lot of video games, I have an appreciation for video game art. I have appreciation for video game creations, the genre, the mechanics, the technology that goes into it. It's really fascinating to me, especially on the art aspect and the storytelling you can do with it. And this movie just, it felt like the game came to life. It felt like you were playing the games. It was just such a fun, amazing adventure. The detail in the movie, just all of the little Easter eggs, all of the references, the fact that you could see the stitching in Mario's hat, it was just a phenomenal movie. The acting was amazing. Visuals were just, I was sold on the world from moment one, and it just kept going. The way they incorporated the different worlds, the power-ups, Donkey Kong, like it is an amazing movie. I cannot properly do justice to how good this movie is. Unlike Dungeons & Dragons, which I definitely recommend picking up the DVD when it comes out and only see it in theaters if you have a group of friends that you personally play these games with Super Mario Bros., this is a movie that you have to see in theaters to get the full scope of it. It's just a super fun, super amazing. Just it is an incredible experience. I loved it. It is my favorite movie I've seen this year. It is phenomenal. Curious to see what movie's going to top it out, because there's a few other movies coming out. That Blue Beetle movie, that one probably will be my favorite this year. Blue Beetle is one of my favorite characters. He's a character that has a lot of personal connection to me. It's a character that means a lot to me and my dad and my family. Ironically, that one character, Blue Beetle, not Batman. Batman is my favorite superhero. Batman is one that has a lot of personal connection to me, but Blue Beetle is a character that has personal connection to my whole family. So very excited about that movie. I talked about all the movies I saw. I kind of gave my little review and opinion on it. Definitely go see Super Mario Bros. But now we're going to talk about the loots. By the way, this is a really cool popcorn bucket. I now have two, actually, because I have the Batman one and now I have this one. I wish they kind of did this like earlier on. I know this is meant to be a gimmick to get people back in the theater because of COVID, but you know what? I really wish they did these when I was little, because there were so many movies I would love. Like originally they would just do like some printed ones that just had like the printing of the movie, or if you were lucky get a really cheap plastic one. But no, these metal ones are amazing, super high quality, very fun to reuse. The Batman one I currently reuse for paintbrushes, but I don't know what I'm going to reuse this one for. Maybe pencils, maybe markers, I don't know. You know what? If you guys want, go ahead and leave a comment on what I should reuse this for, because this is a really cool thing. I really wish I got the D&D one. The fact that it's an actual D20 that opens up is so cool, and I already knew what I was going to use that one for. I was going to use that to actually store all of my dice, because I currently have this bag that my friend Sam made me, and I have an actual bag of holding, which is really cool. I've had these for years. And I also have this little bag of comics. I think I'm going to do the comics first, because I found some really cool finds. These were all from the dollar bin, and I'm going to be honest, literally all of these I bought just to put on my wall, because I'm a nerd and I love comic art. I'm going to start with this one, Power Shazam, that has Batman on it. Shazam, one of my favorite superheroes. Definitely a top 20, not a top 10er, but I absolutely love the character, so I thought this was cool, teaming up with my favorite superhero of all time, Batman. Also found 2 issues of DC's Ted Kord Blue Beetle run. Again, a character that means a lot to me and my family, so I had to pick those up, especially for $1. This one here, which I don't know if this is a famous Batman story or not. I know I've seen this comic cover before, but I absolutely love it. Very beautiful, very iconic imagery right here. This is a very unique cover, so I picked that one up. Also got this Batman one. This is Batman Hush, which was given away for a free comic book day, so I thought that was pretty cool. Great little promotion to get people hyped up, so I had to get that. Batman Hush, one of my favorite stories of all time, and of course, Jim Lee, one of my favorite comic book artists of all time. This one right here, this is a Deadman cover done up by Neil Adams, who is one of my favorite artists of all time. Seriously, I am a sucker for the 60s, 70s, and 80s look of comics. Like the 60s era with the Jack Kirby, like absolutely love it. And then when it came to the 70s, when it started to get refined, and you have Neil Adams coming in and just like solidifying, like, oh, I love that art. But that is the comics. Now let's go ahead and get into the mysteries inside the mystery block. I have just realized I've been talking for like 11 or 12 minutes unedited, and the rest of the footage in this vlog up to this point is probably like 2 minutes at the most clips, so we're gonna have to go through this really quick so it's not just me talking and ranting uncontrollably, and we can get to other fun parts of this month. So going in no particular order, grabbing random things in here, we're gonna start with what I got from Stuart Simple, because I placed another order on his website, so I picked up more Lit. This is a really awesome glow pigment powder. For those who don't know what this is, basically it is the glowiest glow pigment, so when you supercharge it with a UV light, it glows for days. I'm currently trying to make my own glow in the dark ink, and I definitely need some more of this powder to actually make that process work. Very, very fun to use. I really enjoy using it, and I can't wait to finish the video where I'm currently using it again. I also picked up Wink, which is the brightest white ink. Very excited to test this out. I really liked Blink. I know you guys really like when I look at Stuart Simple's products, because the channel usually spikes upward when I do, so look forward to that video at some point in the future. I also picked up some eyedroppers. This is something that definitely comes in handy if you're an inker. It's really nice to just have a couple of these on hand, because not all inkwells have eyedroppers. Originally, I didn't really like them, but now I really appreciate them, and I wish more inkwells came with eyedrop. I also picked this up. This is a subwoofer. It is a Dachshund speaker. It is adorable. I love it. It was at TJ Maxx for like $8. I had to have it. Like, it's just cool. It's cute. If you know me, I love Dachshund. The next 2 things I'm going to show you are going to surprise you, because they're things you don't associate with me. One of them being colored pencils, because I'm not a huge color pencil guy. I've grown to really appreciate them adding onto a piece for adding like new textures and layers and actually getting like some extra enhancements, but when it comes to just using colored pencils, I'm not a fan. These are 3 fluorescent colors. This one is magenta, yellow, and orange, and I needed these because I'm doing a huge glow piece. Of course, I mentioned it with the glow pigment, so look forward to that at some point. That's gonna be really fun. I really have been enjoying doing blacklight art, surprisingly, and I've just been having an itch to do some glow art, so I'm gonna be doing some more of that. The next thing, again, something you don't expect from me. It's something I never buy, but here we go. It is a scented candle, specifically a coffee scented can. Now let me tell you something. I wish you could smell this because, oh my gosh, it smells so good. I love coffee. I'm Cuban. What do you expect? We're known for two things: cigars and missile crises, but if there was a third thing, it would be coffee. And I love the smell of this. Now this studio, one thing that when you work in an art studio, especially if you work with oil paints, I am lucky I don't work with oil paints. You do get a lot of chemical smells. Here it's not too bad. I just get like some weird like pigment and like soap smells. So when I saw this, I was like, you know what? It's coffee. I gotta have it. So it's gonna go somewhere in the studio. And then the last thing, remember how last month I said I completed my Copic collection? I lied. Now I have completed my Copic collection because I guess Coco was mad that I lied. She's very passionate about me lying, apparently. Yeah, so now I have completed my Copic collection. So the reason I got more Copics, and please don't get mad because I know I said I completed the collection, is because I got the itch to do some black light art and some glow art, and I realized I didn't collect all of the fluorescent. And it's pretty easy to do because there's not that many, so I said, okay, let me get those. But I also had 2 duplicates that I bought, and I use the Copic app to keep track of everything. It's a really good app, I recommend it, but I also use it at work to show people who buy Copics that it's a good tool to have to keep track of everything. The fact that you can preview colors, make your own custom wish list, like, it's a great resource, and I may have accidentally unselected ones that I selected that I had in my collection, which one I bought the duplicates. So I exchanged those 2 for 2 new ones, but then I realized, oh wait, I can get 4 more and save because it's a 6 or more savings, and I have an addiction, please send help. But I promise you guys, these are the last of the Copic markers that I'm going to get, at least the last huge batch. The next ones I will get will either be the refills, or they're going to be like a one-off color that I need for one specific character because it's such a weird color, it's something I never use, and it wouldn't be in my collection. I don't know what color that would be, I don't know what character that would be, but either way, this is it. So let's go ahead and dive into them in no particular order. Here we have the 0000 Rose Quartz. Really nice subtle pale. I actually really like the pale violet on that, like super nice. I'm a big fan of like a violet and a purple, surprisingly. It's really good for like energy and also like royal characters, right? It works really well to have all those purple shades because I really like a royal purple, but also having the subtle ones really help when it comes to doing my coloring. Also have BV0000 Pale Bristle. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Really nice. I like how more purpley this one is. And then, you know, we'll keep going with the purple train. We're gonna go with BV31. This is Pale Lavender. Again, another really good one for subtle tones. Let's go to the Earth ones, which is gonna be E40. This is Brick White. E41 Pale White, which these compared with Ivory and Eggshell are really good just to add a lot of subtle tones to things that don't really have that. Like an egg is really good for shading, or for bone, or for like horns, like stuff like that. Really good just to add that subtle shading, just that little pop that makes it clear that this isn't a flat object, giving it that dimension and giving it that just 3D-ness is really cool. I can't think of the specific word because it is still early in the morning and I haven't had coffee yet. I mean, I've had the candle, but that's different. It's just the smell. I need to also enjoy, like, if I could put coffee in my veins, I would, because I love coffee that much. But I also have E37 Sepia. Just having another good brown one would be really nice. It's really good for doing like leather and skin tones, phenomenal for that. And the rest are the fluorescent colors. So just kind of digging through, we got FB Fluorescent Blue, FG Fluorescent Green, FYR1 Fluorescent Orange, which is interesting because as far as I know, there isn't a FYR2. So I don't know why they put a 1 on that one. And then we have FRV Fluorescent Pink. This one, really good for energy effect. And I am very excited to complete my Copic collection. It's early in the morning. I've had a lot of fun filming this. I had a lot of fun talking to you guys. And now I'm going to go get some food because I am hungry. I'm going to title this video Copic Collection Mayhem because I have a problem. I genuinely have an addiction and I can't stop. I promised you guys I would stop. I broke my promise. So, in the previous clip, if you guys remember, I talked about how my Copic collection is done. I don't plan to pick up anymore. If I do, they're going to be like one-offs for commissions, or they're going to be the refills, and it'll probably be 1 or 2 refills at a time. Well, guess what? I have a handful of refills because I have an addiction and I can't stop. Now, I'm going to justify why I bought all of these Copic refills, and the reason is pretty simple. We don't sell all the Copic refills. We sell like all the C.H.A.M.B.E.R, all the Sketch, all the classics. We sell most, not all of the multi-packs. We have the airbrush system, all the fineliners. We don't sell any of the broads. We have about like 80% of the actual refills. I wish we had all of them because looking at my collection, there are definitely a few that I know I will need that I know we don't have. Mostly some of the skin tones and a couple of the reds and a few of the greens and blues, but that's besides the point. Interestingly, one thing that's really and kind of annoying, but also something I do appreciate about what we do in store is that if you buy something online and you go in to return it in store, you can do that and we'll give you a full refund. And I really like how we offer that. However, this is the part that really bothers me, is that if it's something we don't sell in store, we can't give you the refund right then and there. We're happy to ship it so you don't have to deal with the shipping and handling fee, but you will have to wait 2 to 3 days. I kind of wish we were a little more in sync with our online store, but I do like how we at least offer something. Now, there are instances where people return something from online, and we do sell the product, but we don't sell that color or that specific version of it, and it depends on the manager. Pretty much everyone that I work with will make this exception. We're more than happy to actually accept that return, give you back the money, and just kind of find a workaround with the new product. Most of the time what happens, it ends up getting discounted, or we do a special manager sale. That was the case with these Copic refills, because this lady came in yesterday on my day off, returned a bunch of her Copic refills. Now, most of them were ones that we did sell in store, but there were a few that we didn't, but we decided to make it work because she apparently came from a long way. They were telling me all about this at work. They actually saved some colors for me because both me and the assistant store manager Justin are going through and we're collecting a bunch of Copics, and while I thought I completed my collection, he is still ongoing, and he knew there were refills that I had that I was looking for that we didn't sell, and he's an amazing dude. And yes, that's my justification to actually like buying all these, because I have a problem and I need help. I also got a 50-cent Prismacolor. This is a warm 20% gray, so there you go. So let's go ahead and read through the colors, and I'll show you the rest of what I have, because today was actually a special promo sale because it's the anniversary of Blick. So yesterday, today, and tomorrow, a lot of things are on sale, like 60% canvases, and I did grab a few. So hopefully going through a final Copic roundup, because oh my gosh, I have a problem. We have YG07, which is a refill for a color I don't have. It's close enough to YG06, but I absolutely love this green, so I'm going to do some art with that. I also picked up YV69 Pony. The name's on screen. I'm saying Pony with confidence. I don't think that's right, but Peony. I'm being whispered by the one and only Sarah Apple of what the actual color is. Peony.
It's a type.
Oh, it's a flower? Okay. Either way, I love dark reds. I also got RV04, which is shock pink. Now, I don't like pink. Pink is not normally a color that's in my palette. However, I really do like to use like a really neon or fluorescent pink for different energy effects, and also because these are heavily discounted, so I was like, you know what, I'll do it. I also got Neutral Grays 6 and 6, which is my favorite neutral gray. It's a really good tone that I can layer and also thin out, so I really like to use that one. And then I also have PV17 Deep Radish Blue, so very excited to use that. And then lastly, I have some canvases. So canvases were 60% off. You guys know me, I do comic art, I work on Bristol. However, I'm trying to push myself as an artist and be a little more creative and go out of my comfort zone, which is why I've been incorporating more colored pencils into my work, and also why I want to do some acrylic painting. So I got two 11x14 canvases. These were each $5.50. They were like $5, so under $6. And what's cool about it is I'm going to do an acrylic paint on one. I have some absorbed ground, so I'm going to do a watercolor paint on one, because that's how absorbed ground works. And I have one more that I paid $6 for, and that's this one right here. This is a 17x20, so I'm going to do a larger painting on this. Again, I'm trying to push myself as an artist, be a lot more creative, and just kind of push the boundaries on it. And I want to learn more about acrylics. I really like ink. That's my favorite medium, and I do like using acrylic ink, so I want to push myself and keep being creative. Do you have anything to add, Sarah? Real quick. You don't? Also, here's the Copic collection. I am legitimately running out of room. I have a problem. Please send help. Sarah, how bad is the problem? That's how bad. It's a silent, stern wife nod. That's how you know. I'm scared. You guys don't see this, but I'm afraid right now. Send help. So today was an amazing day, but I have a problem. Promised you guys I wouldn't be going more into the Copic rabbit hole. I 3 more Copics, but I did not purchase them. I have a very good, very fun story about this. This happened yesterday, and I still can't believe it, because there are days and things that happen to me that just, it puts a smile on my face, because it's just like, you know, that's a stranger doing something nice, something kind, and it just warms my heart. So what I'm going to say is I love my job, because what my job is, and I don't view myself, I don't really think of my job as a salesman. I think of my job as an art consultant, because 9 out of 10 times someone comes in, they have a question. They say, hey, this is what I want to do. What do I need? This is something I want to try. I can't find any resources. How do I approach this? And my job is to give them the tools they need to do that. My job is to look and say, hey, this is going to work for you. This will work better for you. This is what you need. Here's some references. Here's some resources. My job is really an art consultant job. I love it. I'm an art consultant first, salesman second. I've said it before on the channel. Yesterday, I had these ladies come in. They were the sweetest, kindest old ladies, and they ran a charity charity, and what's so great about their charity is that they create these beautiful cards, like little cartoon cards and little sweet cards, just like little like, hey, thinking of you cards. And what they do is they make them by hand, but then they sell them, and all of the profits that go to that end up going to these charities like hospice and different places that need extra money. They were just so sweet and so kind. These 3 old ladies, I'll never forget them. They were just incredibly sweet. And in fact, they gave me their business card, and if I still have it, I left it in my locker at work. I will put their information here so you can check them out. Just super sweet. I really hope I didn't misplace it. Really nice. And I ended up talking with them for about an hour, and it wasn't just an hour sitting with them. I would talk to them for 15 minutes, say, hey, let me just check on other people, come back, and then talk for another 15 minutes. And they had so many questions about Copic because they started to use them in their rolling press and actually started using them in their artwork and their cards. And we had a blast. We had a lot of fun. I explained all the different types of Copics, the strengths about them, how to blend them, how to use them. And it was just an incredibly nice, really fun experience talking to these old ladies. They were just really nice. They had this passion for what they were doing, and that's what I love about my job, is getting to talk to different artists and see that passion too. And so we ended up grabbing a bunch of Copics. So I said, hey, these are going to work for skin tones. I showed them a picture of my dog. They showed me a picture of their dog, and I picked out some Copics that to match my dog's color, which is awesome. And we also went over some grays, because Copic has a lot of grays. They have warm grays, cool grays, neutral grays, toner grays. So I explained the differences in them. We had a lot of fun. I showed them resources. I showed them my YouTube channel. So hopefully they're watching this video, because you guys are amazing. And seriously, if I did not put the information, please leave a comment, because you need some attention. You guys are doing some amazing stuff. And we had a amazing time. But something that was funny was they said, how can I ever thank you? And I said, you know what, just leave a good Google review, or just mention me in the Google review. Just, you don't need to thank me. This is what I love to do. And they got their stuff. I think they each bought like 20 or 30 Copics. Like, they got a lot each. And so we got them all the tools they needed to continue to make those amazing cards. When they were in line purchasing their items, it's when my break started, so I went on break. When I came back, there were 3 Copics with my name on it, because they each bought a Copic and left it for me. And that's just sweet. That's just amazing. It reminds me of the time when I first started working at Dollar Tree up in Virginia, and I had like a bunch of callouts. I had like 5 callouts. Only 2 people showed up that day, and I was running the whole store by myself. I had a massive line, but I was taking care of everyone, and this lady saw what I was doing, and she went out and bought me Chick-fil-A. And that's insane. That's a person I don't know. I don't think I ever saw her again, but she went out of her way, stood in line, and got me Chick-fil-A, which is not cheap. And granted, I'm allergic to chicken, and I could have just been like, hey lady, I'm allergic, what the hell you do? But no, like, that really touched my heart. That was really like sweet. That was just, it's one of those things that's super nice and super amazing. It's just kind of like, they're still good in the world. And so while I didn't eat it, I actually ended up giving it to the closer that showed up, because she actually came in 2 hours early to help me out. She was amazing. So I gave the food to her, but still, it was just that kindness and that gesture. And the fact that they left 3 Copics for me is just insane. So I ended up switching them out to get 3 colors that I know I would use. And I'm going to go over them real quick. That's going to be FYG1 fluorescent yellow, which means that I now have all the fluorescents, which is really cool. YG07, which is acid green, which is funny because I did get the refill the other day. So that's very cool, because this is a green that I know I will use, and it looks like it goes really, really well with YG09 and YG06. YG09 is actually my favorite shade of green. And for those of you, because I know someone's going to ask, this is my favorite shade of red. It is R46. It is my favorite. It is specifically called Strong Red. It's amazing. They actually bought one each of this because I recommended it, and it is my favorite shade of red that Copic makes. It's amazing. I love it. And lastly, I got a refill, E19 Red Wood, which is a really good one because this is a really good brown that I use a lot. So very happy I added these, which means my final tally, I believe, is 154. I will double check that because I do have 2 other things that I actually did buy, and I will show the loot right here. So let's go ahead and talk about these. This one being, I want to say Karma, because like I think Gamera, and this one is kind of spelled the same way, but it has a K, so Kamera. This is a special varnish that Krylon makes. What's great about this varnish is that it's specifically formulated for ink. It can work with alcohol markers, and traditionally, I found out about this from another customer. His name is Mars. Actually works at, I believe it's one of the children's hospital, as a volunteer artist to teach kids how to draw and do art and art therapy. He's a really sweet, really nice guy. And he recommended this to me, and it dries matte. And I said, you know what, this is perfect. This will be great for top layering and then doing different effects, because I'm going to need this, because the other thing I picked up was a brand new item that we just started to sell, and it's the UV effect by Montana. Now, this is a really interesting spray paint. I'm not a huge spray paint guy. The most I do with sprays is going to be varnishes, and eventually I do want to fix up and work on the airbrush that my dad bought years ago before I was born, but I want to fix it up and start to use it. If HR Geeker, there's so many things you do with it. Either way, what's cool about this is that you can spray it onto anything and it dries clear, but when you shine a UV light on it, it reflects and it actually glows a bright blue purple color. It's a UV activated light, so I'm really excited about this. I'm going to be working on a lot of glow pieces in the future, so this is a really good tool to have to be, just give it that extra punch and be a little bit more creative. So added these 2 to the collection, and I can't wait to make art with them. And that was just a fun story that I had to share with you guys, because I love stories like that. It's just people who don't know each other but get that connection, and then they do something nice for each other. It's just something that's really sweet, and it's moments like that that I'll always remember. Like, I'll always remember that lady from Dollar Tree that bought me Chick-fil-A, because that's just such a sweet and just such a really just kind gesture. And again, it just kind of reminds you there is hope and there is good in the world. But it is late. I am super tired. I had a great time with my friends, had a great day at work. The only thing that sucked about today, there's a Taylor Swift concert, and there was a massive traffic jam because of Taylor Swift. So I'm blaming her for that. But besides that, the day was amazing. So I hope you guys are having an amazing day, because today was just phenomenal. And this vlog, I am noticing, is getting really long because I talk a lot. But we're going to the next clip. So we were going grocery shopping today, and guess what? The Taylor Swift concert kicked up. We can see the lights from here. This is how close we live to Raymond James Stadium, by the way.
That's pretty funny.
That's, oh wait, it's camera reception. I'm watching your camera watch it. Oh, yep, now I'm watching your eyes. That is kind of cool. It messed up traffic getting home twice, but at least, oh, it stopped.
There we go.
It's gone.
Okay.
We lost it.
That's
We
the end of the
soiled
song.
it. No.
That's the end of the song.
Hey, hey,
Yes.
hey. Look at those melons. They're right here. They're huge. That's
It's a load of
insane.
tripe.
Okay, that was good. That was actually really good. Yeah, now I got the joke.
Do you know what beef tripe is?
No idea, but I got the
Here,
joke.
hold it.
Okay, what is
It's
this?
the stomach lining of a cow.
You can't hurt anyone there. Why? Why?
People cook with it.
Why?
Particularly the Latin American culture. And here's some beef cheek for you.
Well, that's normal. That's not. I've never had that before.
Neither have I.
Are you insulting my people?
You're the one who said it was gross.
That. I'll give you that. My melon joke was funny, though.
Oh, that was very funny.
Thank you. You see these? Made with ham and chicken. If they just had ham ones, I would eat these, because these are actually, if you have like ham, what'd you call it? What did you
Ham
call
salad?
it? Yeah, ham salad. Like, that's not bad salad. It's just that all these have chicken, and I can't eat them because, oh, wait a minute. Sarah, I don't think this has chicken in it. I can eat this.
Yeah, salad with uncut ham and bacon.
I can eat that. I don't like salad, but this is good, especially you get the good.
You can eat sunflower seeds, right?
I think so. Why?
Because they're not nuts.
Oh, okay. Cool. You're finding things I'm not allergic to. Stop trying to make me eat green stuff, though.
Speaking of which, I
Yes.
got some talk here for you then.
Well, now this is in the video. This seems serious. Is this serious?
Yes, it is. It's about your mental health. Or physical health, but you know.
Oh,
that
okay.
too.
So, these are my groceries, and these are yours. Well, Mom said to pick that up. So, I think I got the winning combination, just saying.
So I'm getting ground beef and tomato juice so I can make us some good meatloaf. Which your mama makes really good meatloaf too. I'm not saying anything against that. I'm just saying I'm going to actually make us a meal as opposed to marshmallows and salad.
Yes.
But then
And
I'm
a
also getting
Go-Gurt.
Oh,
And
a
Go-Gurt.
Go-Gurt. Can't forget the Coca-Cola. But then I'm also getting us some salad mixes just so that I don't have to get a bunch of different things to make a salad, which those are actually really good, especially if you want to add those into a lettuce that you already have.
Hear me out. Hear me out.
So-
This has bacon and ham.
That has bacon and sunflower seeds.
Ooh, it does?
Yeah. Sunflower bacon crunch is what it's called.
Can we add ham to it?
It's already got ham in it.
Well, I mean, like, cut ham, not bacon ham. Because bacon comes from a pig, and so does ham.
Bacon is cut ham, huh? Canadians, there's an entire country that would say that I am right.
You know what?
Canadian bacon is just cut ham.
Well,
Prove
you know,
me wrong.
you know what? I can't prove you wrong, but I can do harm. Whatcha? No. Can we just agree we don't need anything from here? What are these green things?
That's why we need these.
Come on. We don't. No, we don't need sweet pea. No.
Oh, we don't need sweet pea? Oh, I'll tell Coco you said that.
No, that's your nickname.
I'll tell Coco you
that
said
is your
that. I'll
nickname
tell
for
her
her.
you said that.
I have never called her
Shame
sweet
on
pea.
you.
You call her
Shame on
sweet
you.
pea. We do not need sweet peas that you eat.
I'm not getting sweet peas.
What are you
I'm
getting?
getting green beans.
Green. Oh, that's worse. Green beans are worse. Oh, that's even more worse.
You like asparagus? What are you talking about?
I mean, if you bake it and season it and you put cheese on it, yeah. But if you do that, oh no, don't fall. No. I'll
I
help.
won't fall if you don't push me.
Okay, that's fair. Oh, what's this one? More green
Give me
beans.
the other one.
more green beans. Yeah, I'll hand you all of them. How about that? There. Are you happy? Are you happy?
Yes, no. Those are
Green. Well, that means there's less to eat.
So this is a camera angle you guys don't see very often, but it's one that I like. Not because it looks good. It looks horrible. I prefer the normal camera angle. I like this camera angle because I only use it when my desk is full. Because right now my laptop's on the side part of my desk where my camera is hanging, and this is the angle of I am working. I have stuff that I'm doing. And I have a confession to make. While I have loot that I want to talk about, I've kind of been putting off a project, which is very not me. I've had friends that describe me as a functioning workaholic, and I've had people that I care about describe me that way. I love working on projects. I love keeping busy. I love coming up with new ideas. I love creating art, and I try to keep busy. But there's this one project in my head that I've had for a couple months that I really want to do that I just put on, and I'm realizing that's not good. So I want to talk about it real quick. So I started working on this project a couple weeks ago, and as you guys remember, my grandfather grew ill away. And this project was for me. This was not meant for him. This was a project that I wanted to do, but it was something that I knew he would love. It was something that I knew he would like. It was something that I really thought was special, and he could see it when I was talking to him about it. It's something that my wife knows really cool and something she's really looking forward to. Something both my parents really are excited to see this piece made. And I was really set on making it happen. And then my grandfather had his accident, he got ill, he was in the hospital, and that took up a lot of my time. And so I was visiting him, checking on him, taking care of him, doing everything I can. And then he passed, and I just didn't want to work on it. I didn't want to create anything. It wasn't like a permanent thing. It was just like, I just need a day, a bit to, do my thing. And then my sister came to visit, and I didn't want to work on anything because I wanted to spend time with my sister and my brother-in-law. And that was really good. That time was amazing. That was what I needed. And that really helped the healing process. But now that it has been almost another week, it's been some time, I haven't worked on this project. I was getting all the stuff I needed to actually get it set up, and I was kind of delaying it because it's like, oh, I'll get this, oh, I'll add this, oh, I'll do this. And it was me delaying the project. It was me not wanting to finish this project, which is very uncharacteristic of me. I really wanted this. I still want to do this. And to show what I did, I bought more Copics to use for this project. I bought a spray varnish to use for the project. I bought colored pencils for this project. And then after I did that, I started sketching to avoid working on this project. I came up with this weird robot character that you can't really see because of the lighting, but yeah, there you go. You kind of see it a little bit. I then did a drawing of Raph, and then I did another drawing of Raph. And then I drew this energy dude on watercolor paper, and then I drew the magician's enemy, which I really like how this came out, but I was procrastinating. I was not taking the steps that I needed to make this artwork happen. I was putting it off, and that's very uncharacteristic. That's very not me. And because of that, I realized that. So yesterday, I spent all day prepping for this, but not putting it off. I did a lot of filming. I actually filmed the entire process of making the glow paint, which, by the way, this stuff is super fun, and I wish the camera could capture how amazing this is. I then tested how it reacts to the different materials that I use to make sure that it wouldn't mess anything up, and guess what? It did. You can see the ink smear. So then I did some UV tests, making sure that the UV spray wouldn't interfere with the glow, and also made sure that my sealant, which was going to be crucial for this project, worked properly, and it did. And then I did my full test with all my materials. I had a busy day yesterday. I filmed a lot, and it was really good. It was what I needed to start working on this project, and that's kind of what I'm viewing this as. And this is a video that probably isn't going to release for a year. I have a huge backlog because I do have borderline workaholic tendencies. I throw myself into my art. I work on it just so intensely, and that's the thing, is I like working and creating art. I love keeping busy, and this piece is going to get done. It's going to be a piece that I'm going to be proud of. It's going to be unlike anything else I made, and I would have loved for my grandfather to see it. That is something that I cannot express properly, is how much I want him to see this piece. And he is. He's probably going to look down from heaven seeing me do this, and he's going to love it. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make this piece come to life. I have been putting it off. It's something I realized. It's something that I was shocked that I didn't realize it until this very moment. I said, I need to start filming, and part of my brain was like, no. And then I was like, no, I'm going to film. I'm going to keep doing this. So I sat down and I started testing my varnishes. I started testing my material. I started filming. I just was getting inspired, getting back in the swing of things. And I needed that. I think part of it was just a break. I just needed a break from not art, but just kind of creating content, filming, and just being myself. Because I'm myself on camera. Like, this is me. It's a little more goofy, but for the most part, what you see on camera is one-to-one to what you would see in real life. And yeah, I feel like I'm back in the swing of things. I feel like I'm back to creating art because this is the piece that I'm going to make. So I have all the pencils done. I'm going to tape it to my board, and then I'm going to start making one of the most epic and just different pieces that I've ever made. I have the inspiration. I'm gonna do it. That's it. That's what I'm gonna do. So I really just wanted to take a minute to talk about that because it's something that was bothering me. It's something that I didn't realize I was doing until, like I said, yesterday when I went to film and my brain was like, no, don't do it. No, I need to do this. This is what I need to do. So with that said, with all the testing, all the swatches, the different varnishes, the different paint, the glow pigments, all the materials, I am ready to create one of the most amazing pieces of art I have ever. I'm gonna ink this piece tonight, let it dry. We're gonna start coloring it tomorrow. I'm very excited. I can't wait for this video to come out. It's gonna be one that I'm just so proud of. But with that said, do have some loot, and yes, they're Copics because I have an addiction, but I do have a reasoning for it. So let's go ahead and talk about that. I think I'm just gonna title this video My Copic Addiction because every time I said I was done with Copics, I immediately had more Copics in the next clip. So I'm not even gonna say I'm done with Copics. I'm gonna say this. I am not planning on purchasing any more Copics, but I will not be surprised if I do. If any, I will be shocked that I don't buy the blank Copic because I think it'd be really fun to mix my own Copic colors. Either way, do have some stuff to talk about, and I do think I can justify at least most of these colors in my hand. The first one I'm going to justify is this one right here. This is FY Fluorescent Yellow, and the reason that I'm justifying is because I actually goofed and bought two of this one right here. This is FYG1 Fluorescent Yellow, and you can understand my confusion, and it was an honest to God mistake. So I exchanged the extra one I had of this for this one, and that's how I'm justifying that yellow right there. I'm also justifying this blue because this is one of my favorite blues. I've had this one for a while. This is B04, and I'm not even going to try to pronounce that blue because I am so bad at pronouncing things and reading. So we're just going to put the name right here. This is one of my favorite blues to use, and I loved it so much. I dried it out because I used it a lot, and I thought, hey, I'll just get a refill for it. I sell most of the refills at my shop, and I probably have it. So I moved all my markers to make room for the refill, and turns out I don't sell the refill. So I ended up getting a new marker because I really need it for a project I'm working on, just a sketch of my sketchbook that I really want to finish. And that left the problem where B's are at the top of the alphabet for Copics because there's no A's, are organized alphabetically. So I wasn't going to move a ton of markers. I decided I'll just get an extra B, and that's B0000 Pale Celestian. I think that's a good name. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but I think it's a cool name because this color makes me think of Force Ghost from Star Wars, and I really like, very nice. So I have added these to the collection. They are going to be in there. I'm not going to say I'm done because it's me. What I will do at the end of not this clip, but the end of the vlog, I'm going to show off my marker collection. And I'm going to show you all the individual Copics I have, that being the different colors, the way the app categorizes it, then with all the duplicates, then with all of the alcohol markers that I have, because I have a lot. And I did give away a lot too in the move, so I have a problem, I have an addiction. I'm going to put these away, I'm going to clean this up, because I am ready to tackle and make some amazing art. So, I don't often get bitten by the collector bug, but when I do, I get bit hard because I have 4 more pieces of loot. They are Copic related. I do want to justify in the sense that these are meant for the project I'm currently working on, the one that I really talked about earlier in the vlog, because I want to show you guys what I have. I really do. Like, you can see a little bit right there, but I can't. And the reason is because I really want you guys to see the video. It's 75% done. I got a little bit more work. This piece has gone from something that I'm really proud of being something that I am insanely proud of. This is not just like my favorite piece I've done in the new studio. This isn't just my favorite piece I've done this year. This isn't just my favorite piece I've done since I've been a YouTuber. No, this is straight up my favorite piece I've done, period. I have pushed myself as an artist in ways I didn't think I could, and I love how this looks. This, seriously, when I say, like, this is my favorite piece I've done, I mean it. Like, as of this piece, this is my favorite. I'm gonna get this piece custom framed. I'm gonna do custom lighting in the frame. This is a piece that I didn't think I could do. Like, 1 year ago today, I didn't think my art would be here. This is a piece that shows, like, my growth as an artist. This is the new level I've reached, and being a little dramatic here, but that's really how I feel about this piece. I really like it. I'm really proud of it, and I really want you guys to watch the video. So with that said, I'm gonna leave it here. I got some more work I'm gonna be doing tonight. I really am proud of this piece, but got some loot, and I want to talk about it and what my idea to work on this piece, because I don't know if I'm just coming up with more ideas to make it better or more ideas to make it too busy. I think this is an idea that's gonna help, and I'm really curious how it's actually gonna work out. So the first piece of loot I picked up with these are replacement nibs for your Copic sketch. sketch. And what's really cool is that these are fine tip. So here's something really interesting that a lot of people don't know about Copic, but their markers do have different nibs, which is really interesting because we mostly know Copic for the sketch nib. Well, this is a Copic classic. I only have one of them, and that's the Colors Blender. They do have a broad tip, which is similar to the Copic sketch. In fact, they're identical, but where they differ is in the other end. The Copic classics have this bullet point nib, which is really nice, great for small detail, and that's why I have a Colors Blender, because if there's any that I'm going to use, it's going to be this one here. But it is nice to have a couple more options. Now, the sketch has the brush tip, which is amazing, it's great, but I really like how Copic said, you know what, a lot of people like the bullet nib, but they don't like the broad nib. A lot of people like the brush nib, but not the broad nib. They kind of want to switch and, you know, make their own thing, so they made extra nibs. So this one here is meant for the Copic sketch. You can take the broad side out and put the fine tip in, which is really, really nice. They even have a version for the classic that you could take the broad nib out, put a brush tip in. That's really cool. And in my opinion, if you have a bunch of extra cash and you want to do that, that's the best way to have Copics, because I do like their broad tips, but I'm going to be real with you, Prismacolor has a much better broad nib, and if they could somehow take that design and put it in Copic, oh my gosh, that'd be amazing. But those are the differences. Also, there are broad Copics that have huge, almost like a giant highlighter tip. I don't have any of those. Those are very few and far between. I don't sell them at my store. And then the C.H.A.M.B.E.Rs have the same nib system as Sketch, but they're smaller and they don't have as much ink. But they can, I think, hold more ink, which is really weird, but they come with less ink. It's one of those weird things. They're meant to be a budget version of the Sketch, which is why there aren't as many colors. Either way, those are the differences, and that's why I picked these up. So always good to have some extra nibs, especially for emergencies. And with the project that I'm going to do, and hopefully I really do hope it works, it'll be nice to have this option too, because this should fit in the C.H.A.M.B.E.R as well. And now the remaining 3 pieces of loot are all for this crazy idea that I have to try to make this piece even better. If it doesn't work, oh well, but at least I can say I tried. And I have these things right here. So first we're going to start with this one here. This is Y06. This is the refill. Fun fact, this is actually my favorite shade of yellow that killed. I really like this. I picked that up. I also picked up an empty refill, which is really cool, so you can mix your own color. Really like that. And this was $5. This was $5.83. And then I picked up the C.H.A.M.B.E.R. Now, originally I was going to pick up an empty classic and just get the sketch nib for it, so I can switch out. That's why I talked a lot about it in the previous clip. However, it was just cheaper for me to get a C.H.A.M.B.E.R, and it's a Colors Blender, so it doesn't have any color ink in there, which is good. I'm actually going to take it apart, take the cartridge that's in here, and empty all the excess ink into this, which is my Colors Blender refill, because you see there's a little room right in there. And after that, I'm going to take the refill. I'm going to mix up my own custom color, because I realized when I was using this, so this right here is a special blue invisible ink. It's reactivated by UV. So I take my black light and I set it up. It glows this beautiful, beautiful shade of blue. Now, the company itself makes a couple different colors. They have a yellow, they have a pink, they have a green. They have a red, but you can only get the red in a marker. The rest you can get in bottles. Blue I have in front of me. And I don't like the shade of green. From what I've seen on pictures and online, I just don't like it. I think it's way too dark. It's not the bright, kind of yellowish I want. So what I'm going to do, and you probably figured it out, is I'm going to take this ink, which has a very similar consistency to alcohol ink. I'm going to mix it together with a couple drops of this one here, which is yellow. Yellow and blue make green, and I do have one of my favorite shades of green as a refill right here. This is YG07, and I'm going to mix my own glow-in-the-dark green, hopefully. I'm really hoping it's going to affect this and make it look good, and it'll also give it at least a solid kind of lightish green to go on top of the artwork itself. Either way, really hope this idea works, so I'm going to be working on that hopefully tonight. And yeah, I have a lot on my plate, but you know what? I am so proud that I pushed myself and that I did this piece. I am so happy of where I'm at in my art. And the crazy thing is after this piece is done, I already know what I want to do after. I know the next big piece, and I am very excited. I love pushing myself as an artist, and this piece here is going to show you where I'm at. So please stay tuned for that video. I got more work to do. I'm actually going to bring this black light to work so I can get more color pencils, because the yellow that I used for this isn't reacting right, so I'm going to see what I can find. So very excited about that. Wish me luck. I'm crazy, yes, but I love my art, and I really am happy with this piece. I seriously cannot convey how just proud I am. So thank you all so much for listening to me ramble. I did it. I have some loot, and none of it is Copic related. I really don't know how I managed to do that. Actually, I do, because I filled up my entire marker display. I have no more room for any type of markers at all. Every slot's filled. Keep in mind, my marker display shelf, it's 4 of the 72 count Spectrum R marker holders, so I have a problem. You can do the math there. That tells you how many alcohol markers. I actually have more than that, because I gave away some. Keep that in mind. fine. I have a problem. I have an addiction. But you know what? We're going to talk about the non-Copic loot that's here because I wasn't planning to film today. I really didn't, but I need some stuff at work and we had a bunch of stuff that went on clearance. And I also got some free stuff. So it's like, you know what? Combine that with the Amazon delivery. I have to talk about this loot. So let's go ahead and dive in. And I'm going to start with the most boring thing, which is just masking tape. Like, it's just masking tape, nothing special. I needed it because I ran out. I'm going to move on to the free thing I got at work, which was this. This is really cool. So this is an architect template, and what's really cool about this, there's a bunch of weird funky shapes. This came in, the packaging was all messed up. It has a bunch of scratches and cuts in it, and they were going to toss it out, but they let me keep it. Here's a cool thing. If you look closely, it has a bunch of these little divots in here. It's to raise it up so that you can draw with ink. You don't have to worry about it smearing or smudging. I really appreciate that. I really like how it has that. Continuing the trend of what I picked up at work, I have this. This is a Lamy pen. I believe this is a Tipo Roller Ball Red. Really fancy name. This normally sells for, I want to say like 20 bucks. I paid $6 for it because it went on clearance, and it's just kind of a nice little pen. I needed like a consistent pen for work because I'm always burning through pens with all the notes that I take, so I think this is going to do the job. So very excited. I actually really like the feel of it. It has like a good feel in the hand, so very excited to use this. I also got this. This may look like a normal color pencil, but it's not. It's actually a fluorescent color pencil because the fluorescent yellow that I have doesn't reactivate the way it should under UV light, so I had to get one that did, and I brought my UV light to work, and we had a bunch of fun just seeing what paints react to it and what material reacts to it, and we found a weird stain that we're not talking about. So with that said though, I absolutely love using fluorescent colors. I really like I think I've liked using them more now than I have in the past when I was a kid, because everyone goes through the neon phase, and I did too, but like the effects you can get with them, especially for magic and a cyberpunk and like future neo-noir style, I am in love with. So definitely excited to add this. We didn't have a green one. We couldn't find a green that was fluorescent, so that kind of sucks, but oh well, it is what it is. I also picked up this. Now this is a crackling effect. This is by Montana, and this is a really cool effect if you want to get like a base layer of black and have the crackles of the color below it show through. Really cool, really interesting, and I definitely had to pick this up. Looking at it, it looks pretty easy to use, so I don't have to worry about like any problems or any difficult use, but I already have a few pieces in mind that I think will be really good to have this. And that's something that's really interesting, is that working on this piece, it's really opened my mind to different effects and different spray effects. I'm not saying I was against them. It definitely wasn't something that was on my radar, but now it is, and I really like using these. These are going to be really fun to have. And I did pick up 3 more, and these aren't the same crackle effect. This one's actually a granite and mosaic effect. What's really cool about it is that I have 3 different ones. I have a light gray, which is basically white, a gray, and then a black one. The reason I picked these up is because these were marked on heavy clearance. In fact, I actually didn't pay $7.97. I ended up paying $5 for these, which is very excited about that. And that brings us to the last piece of loot, which was my Amazon order, which is this. This is amazing. So this is my brand new black light. It looks so cool. This is by Gloss Day, and it's 100 LEDs, and this boy is huge. Again, my old one for scale, my new one for scale, 100 LEDs. Now, with that said, while yes, these are much brighter and these black lights are amazing for UV art, I definitely like this one. I like the feel of it. I like how compact it is. I like how kind of more easy to handle this is. I don't like the button placement here. Like I would have liked it here where my pinky, not my pinky, my pointer finger is. Usually I hit this one with my pinky, you can see, but this one's a little bigger. I kind of got a little more secure. So yeah, absolutely love this. This is so nice. I can't wait to use this in the video. Like it's going to make everything look cool. This one's been on the fritz. I don't know what happened. I don't know if it got damaged in the move, or for some reason it just flickers. It's not as bright as it used to be. This one, I am so excited I picked this up because this has been super fun, because I want to do more glow pieces. It's something I want to explore more. So with that said, that is all the loot for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. I have a Coke. It's right here. I'm going to take a sip of it because I've earned it, and I need to do some more work. So I'm hopefully going to be finishing up my massive glow piece today. It's right there drying because I sprayed it last night with UV, so hopefully it will be ready to do the finishing touches. Super quick battle loop because I need to go get Chinese food, and then I'm meeting up with my friends at 7 and it's 6:01 and I still need to get the Chinese food, but I do have some loot to talk about, and none of it, that's right, none of it is Copic related. I'm really proud of myself, but a lady came in and had a huge online return, and one of the items was an ink that we don't sell in store, so I had to get it, and yes, it was $5 for Amsterdam, which normally sells for like $9. Hey Party, what's up?
You ready to go?
I am ready to go. I just gotta do this real quick. I also picked up this golden fluorescent green because I couldn't find a good fluorescent green color pencil. candle, and look how bright. That's just insane and gorgeous. I love it. And then lastly, I got these 2 spray paints. Now these are special effects. This is glitter and this is halogram glitter. Very cool effects. I'm actually thinking of using them for this piece right here. So we shall see. That is the loot for today. I'm gonna go play some D&D with my friends because we're really getting into this campaign. We're having a lot of fun and I'm not gonna miss that, and I'm really hungry, so let's go do that. The chickens, they're just chilling in a market with my family. Oh my goodness. Also, fun fact, the world's largest cigar is actually rolled right over there. Well, maybe we'll go back and I'll get footage of it, but yeah, Mom, guess what?
What?
There's chickens.
I know!
They're just chickens.
I know!
Hey, you take one of those chickens, it's a $5,000 fine. They're
Really?
federally protected. They got more rights than you do.
So why are they so protected? Tell us again.
When C.H.A.M.B.E.R from Cuba started, he came from Spain to Cuba to learn the cigar business. So he went 2 years to Cuba, learned the cigar business, started a cigar factory in Key West, where your specialized labor were the Cubans and knew how to, that was an art. And the problem with, politically, Cuba's never been real stable like many Latin American countries. So they were so patriotic. Key West was only 90 miles from Cuba. He'd lose them. They just sent a drove of them going. So he says, well, wait a minute. I have to get a place that's got a good harbor like Tampa Bay. I got to have the right climate. I'm going to bring my Cuban specialist skilled labor here, but I can't go too far. All right. But I got to be far enough that if something happens to Cuba, they just can't get up and go. So Tampa was it. Well, they had chickens down there because there was a lot of wilderness in that area at the time, you know, undeveloped. But when they came here, downtown was near Ybor, but there was nothing but basically almost swampy land. So they asked if they could take those chickens. They brought them, and it was a source of eggs and food. Now, when Tampa built up, then they just let them go. Well, they've been here for over 100 years, and they're kind of a subspecies. There's some genetic traits they have and they share, and they've been genetically tested. And they're the same group that came from Key West and Tampa, and they're now federally protected. And you've got somebody from the federal government, maybe the Department of the Interior, comes in the morning to feed them, comes in the evening to feed them, and he counts them and knows how many they are.
That's pretty cool.
If you mess with them, and if there's a death, they see if it's a natural death, that's fine. If it's not, they investigate it, and they'll ask business owners around here. So the business owners around here know that the chickens have more constitutional rights than we do.
It's a chicken with rights. That's actually pretty cool.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm just gonna, one day, I'm gonna just bring you here and we're just gonna film the history of Tampa.
Oh, it's gonna be awesome. Let's do that.
I was telling them over there the world's longest cigar was rolled.
Cigar was in as I was telling them earlier, what's that book called? Guinness Book of World Records. Then Cuba got embarrassed, so the government funded a group of individuals to go break the record, and they did. So, but for a while it was held here in Tampa, and it was 196 feet and 3 inches, something like that. Pretty fascinating. Roll a cigar, continuous cigar. That
Tampa has a beautiful history.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Hey, Purdy, I got a ring, and it spins. Yeah, it's just like my wedding ring, except not as cool because this one's cooler. It's Batman, but it's black, so I might wear this when I paint, just so I don't have to worry about getting my actual nice ring messy.
Fair.
Yes, we're going on the trolley. We've been waiting a couple minutes. Also, apparently that's what old ACs used to look like. That fan, right there. Those are attic fans. Is that what they're called, Dad? Did you have one in your house? And they had a lot of dust, right?
Yeah, and that's the only bad thing. At night it keep you so cold that you'd have to wear your sheets. So in the winter, even in the summertime, it'd get really cold in the house for that running at night. During the day, not much help. It did at least circulate the air, but it would circulate a lot of dust, unfortunately. And it was mounted in the ceiling with kind of vents. And when you turned it on, the vents were sucked in because the wind it would suck air from the outside through the house. So it opened the vents, and when you turn it off and close it, it sucked that air into the attic. So
That's pretty cool. And they're like 6 feet, you said.
6 feet in diameter or somewhere like that. They were huge, depending on the house. They come in different sizes. The one I grew up with was the diameter was about, I don't know, 4.5 to 6 feet, somewhere in there.
Okay, that's still pretty big. We almost got it to ourselves. It's so cool. It's got AC and radio, but it's designed like how they used to.
Yeah.
Nice.
Beautiful design.
Yeah.
Like the lights.
The lights are cool. All right, go ahead, Dad. Tell us what this is.
Other nations have an embassy, which is foreign property in the United States. Cuba is the only one that has two. And this is a thorn in the side of communism because the patriots came here. And what you have here is right now I'm standing on the land of two different nations. The United States, this is officially the only independent property of Cuba. They have 8 plants in the back. And the 8 plants represent the 8 provinces in Cuba. And the soil from each plant was brought by the Cuban immigrants from that particular province and planted in it. So when the relations were broken off with Castro, the Cuban community here continued to maintain this park. And when, after Castro died and communication between the two nations resumed, they petitioned for money because they had taken care of this thing for over 50 years. And the Cuban government paid them several $100,000. And now that statue is old and it's not Jose Marti. It is not made out of metal. And it is starting to need some TLC. And the Cuban government is embarrassed, you know, that we are doing this. And yet it belongs to them, this strip of land. So they have commissioned and they've already to build a new statue. I don't know when it's going to be complete, but it's going to be out of, I think, bronze. So this is a unique place here.
That is cool.
This is again because of the volatility in the Cuban government. This is independent. You have independence here in a sense, liberty. This is a symbol of liberty for Cubans that came here.
That's incredible. Well, we can take a quick little look, show you guys, because Tampa, man, Tampa, Ybor, Florida has such a rich history. It's such a beautiful, it's a unique part of the world. It's a very unique part of America. We don't get to see a lot of it. Usually we just hear Florida man did such and such, but here, you know, here's the beautiful history. We got more of those chickens.
Remember, they're federally protected.
Yep.
Those are a unique genetic kind of, got their own reports, kind of like the Florida Panther. They're kind of like a substitute.
Absolutely amazing. That's cool.
They call it the wrapper, the outside leaf. Gives it to him, he throws it in the back when he rolls it.
What is it she's wrapping? What is it though?
Before it's cut up and spread.
He's living his best life. He's jamming.
Well, they have all 3 different.
Hey, what restaurant has its own gift shop? How many?
I actually know a few.
Oh, that's not true. Well, Cracker Barrel doesn't count. I was gonna say, so the Colombian is really cool. It's been around since 1905, and they do flamingo dances. And I've been here one time and watched a flamingo dance. It was actually really cool, but beautiful. Like, I love this style. It's so gorgeous. Someone's got the zoomies. Someone's got the zoom. Oh my goodness, look at her go. Someone's got the zoomies. That tickles, Coco. That tickles. Oh my goodness, the tickles. She's a ferocious ant. Oh my good. Ready? Want to see your trick? She's got the zoomies. Oh my goodness. Ready? Come on. We didn't do anything. She just started this way. Oh my goodness, it tickles, Coco. Tickles. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I love my little bean. She's so good. Oh, let me take off the ring. There you go. God. Oh, she got me. She's got me. Ah, I'm defeated. Oh my good. Coco. I've been defeated.
You both look like you were defeated.
Oh, here she comes. Oh my goodness. She's so good.
Alrighty guys, so I have today off and I'm going to be running a butt ton of errands. One of them is going to get the piece of art frame. So excited. I have it in my portfolio. It's right here. Oh man, I am so proud of how this piece came out. I'm going to be getting it framed because it is a piece that I'm so proud of it. It is literally my favorite piece I think I've ever created, and I really can't believe I pushed myself as an artist. So I'm going to get it custom framed. I don't know when the frame itself will be ready, but I will get the pieces picked out and hopefully we'll be done within a week or so. And I also got some lights for it. So I ordered these black lights. They're 2 8-foot long spindles? I don't know the correct word. But yeah, they are black lights, so I'm going to put them on the inside of the frame, and they also have these battery packs. It comes with 2 of them. What I'm probably going to do is just wire them together and have them feed off of 1 battery pack. Either way, very excited for that, so I'm going to take that to the frame shop to make sure that everything gets set. I'm going to be doing this through my job too, like, because our lead framer, Mr. Ed, is incredibly talented. He's been doing it for 30 years. The dude is amazing. He actually did the frame for my Halloween piece. Let you right there. Very cool. And Allie and Chris, which are our other framers, are also incredibly talented. So if there's anyone I'm going to trust, it's them. They know what they're doing. But I have some other stuff to talk about. Like, for example, I picked up this paint right here to paint some figures for my dad. The booster gold head is still there, so I will be finishing up hopefully soon and also doing the resin for the goggles. I also picked up a fluorescent magenta Malto. I absolutely love Malto. I haven't switched the head yet, so that's why it still has the old head. And I also got this round mop, which is really nice. This is a mini round mop. Super good for doing blending, softening edges, adding a feather technique. These things are really fun to use. And I was like, you know what? I want a tiny one to do some smaller work on. And the last pieces of loot I have are these bad boys right here. These are Da Vinci travel brushes. We are no longer going to be selling them at my shop. And this guy normally sells for $70 and this guy normally sells for $60. And I picked up both of these. This one was $19 and this one was $22. So it was a really, really good sale. They are on clearance. Go to your local Blake and see if your store is not carrying them anymore, because these are super high quality brushes. Definitely, in my opinion, not worth the $60 or $80 they kind of go for. But if you can get them for like 20, under 30, definitely worth it, especially like this one right here, because I don't have a flat travel brush. So very excited to try these. So yeah, that's it for right now. I do got to be going in the next 5 minutes, so I'm gonna get some coffee, run my errands, get this framed, and yeah, I am very excited. I'm gonna be taking you guys with me today. Hopefully we have some exciting adventures.
Look at that little bean. Look at how little she is. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, Coco, you're just so freaking cute. I love you. I love my baby. I am so lucky to have such a cute little dog. All right, Coco, we're gonna play, but I gotta film a video first, okay? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, look at her. She's so cute.
I am back home from running all of my errands. I am still honestly a little tired and I have a lot of editing to do. Good news, I did get the piece framed. Super excited, picked out the materials, picked out the style, picked out the size, got the glass pick, got the back mounting pick. I am so excited. And unfortunately, Mr. Ed wasn't there, but Allie was. And I have to say, I am so lucky to have just such amazing coworkers. Like, all of my coworkers are the best. And I am so thankful for that. So we worked together, got the right things picked. She made some really good suggestions, so there we go. But I do have some loot because me and Sarah were both kind of tired. We had a bit of a long day, and I had a doctor's appointment today, and it took like 3 hours, so I was just drained. So because of that, we ended up going to one of our favorite places of all time, Barnes & Noble's, and I got a brand new book, and this is a huge book. I got it discounted because it was damaged, and we got an additional discount on it because Sarah has a membership with them. So this book normally sells for $25, $26. We picked it up for $16.50. And it's the brand new Alex Ross Marvel Comics poster book. And yeah, I absolutely love this. This is an amazing book. It's so good. Like, the art in here is just gorgeous. So this was part of a mural that Alex Ross did for Marvel. And it actually has the poster in the back. I'm going to see if I can get a quick... Oh no, it bent! Oh no! Well, that's okay. I did get this for clearance, and I'm probably not going to put this poster up. But this is so cool. Look at that. That was amazing. That is awesome. This is one of my favorite art books that Alex Ross has put out. Honestly, probably my third, because I do have Marvelosity, which is all of his Marvel work. This is my second favorite one that he's put out. I also have Mythology, which is all of his DC work, and this is my favorite book he's put out. And I have one of his sketchbooks, which I really, really like this sketchbook. But out of all three of these, I think this one's going to be my least favorite, because the Marvel one, oh my goodness, this is so good. It's so good. And I know he did a villain one, so I want to pick up the villain one when that comes out. Alex Ross is one of my favorite artists of all time. I absolutely love his work, especially his Batman stuff. His Batman stuff's great. Kingdom Come's phenomenal. Fantastic Four Full Circle, by the way, is one of my favorite comic books that's come out in the last year. It is so freaking good. Please pick it up if you haven't. But I had to talk about that. I'm just going to chill the rest of the day. I'm going to watch the movies, maybe do some editing, I don't know. But I'm tired, and I'm just going to read this book and look at it for a bit, honestly, because it's just so nice. So I'm going to be doing that today, and then tomorrow I have work, and then I'm off Saturday, and I'm going to be running more errands. Hopefully, I'll have some time to film some videos, because I really want to do some artwork. And now that I kind of have scratched my itch for glow art, still kind of want to make more so, but I'll kind of do like little things here and there, nothing too big like this one that I just wrapped up, but we'll see. Honestly, sometimes you can get a little too carried away with art. I tend to forget how hot it gets in Florida, because I have to turn off this AC when I film because it's too loud. In fact, here's what it sounds like on. Like, listen to that. It feels so good, but it's so loud. So I have to turn it off when I film these, and it is hot in here. But you know what? I ain't gonna complain, because I have two pieces of loot that I have to talk about. But this is going to be the first piece I'm going to talk about, which was a gift from my dad. This is The History of Art, The Western Tradition by H.W. Johnson and Anthony F. Johnson. What's really cool about this book is that the school that my dad works at, they're closing down the library because no one goes to the library. I honestly can't think of the last time I've been to a library. Probably like 8 years, to be honest. Actually, no. There's one class I took that the class was in the library, but I haven't been to a library for a library reason in a long time. Sarah is looking at me horrified.
I can't believe I married this man.
Okay, you know what? My garage in Virginia was a library. My dad has always had a library. I've grown up in a library because of my dad's obsession with books. Now, this, I am glad he did get a little bit of an obsession with book on this case, because this was a gift from him, and this looks amazing. Like, this looks like an insanely cool book. It's a ton of historical pieces. It goes really in depth. I was just kind of looking through it. He gave it to me today. This is an awesome book, and this is the 6th edition. Look at that, 6th edition. So they have done a good job just updating it. This is really cool. I would love to show you some pages in here. The problem is it's a lot of historical art, which tends to involve a lot of nudity, and YouTube's very no on that, even if it's historical or artistic. So yeah, but it also talks a lot about construction, because you have to think back then, when it came to architecture and crafting temples and like all kinds of stuff, like it was an art form. Like churches and building those things were in and of itself an art form. So I really like how they pay attention to that. I really like the sculpture work, the paintings, the commentary is pretty good. I really like this book, so I'm really glad my dad got it for me. The second piece of loot I have is this right here. Yes, it is Copic, but this is the airbrush system. So karma came for me today, because my friend, at least 2 weeks ago, I convinced her to get like a bunch of art supplies when she was like, I'm on the fence. And I was like, yeah, you should do it. And then today I was like, I'm on the fence on this. And she looked at me and was like, remember 2 weeks ago? I was like, yeah, karma. And so she convinced me to get this. So this is the airbrush system. What's really cool about this is that this is the actual brush itself. We're gonna pop it open real quick, and I have not used these. I've not seen too many videos on these, so I'm very excited to learn about them. But this is the unit itself, and you could take Copic sketches, and if you take off the chisel end, you can actually pop it right in here, and then you can use them as an airbrush, which is really cool. So I really want to try that. I'm really getting into airbrushes, and since I'm learning a little bit more about them, and then my dad has had this airbrush since before I was born that he wants me to fix. Interestingly, the adapter for this airbrush is the same as this. So if I could find a hose that fit both of these that I can connect to my compressor, oh my gosh, that would be amazing. I would be super happy about that. So yeah, we're gonna bring this in tomorrow, because Brandon, who is an awesome guy I work with and is our airbrush expert, said he would help me figure out what to do. So I'm going to bring these in, and hopefully he will help me figure them out. So very excited about that. And yeah, that is everything for today. I'm gonna try and actually figure out how to use this, because it's really cool. It looks like this just screws in. I don't know if this already has air in it, or if it comes empty and you can fill it. I'm not really sure. I know this is the adapter, so very excited about that. We're gonna just kind of twist it on and see. So we got it in there, and now, okay, so this does not have air in it. Either way, I'm gonna read through the instruction manual. I'm gonna do some research to kind of take a look at everything I can. Very excited to dive into this book too. Just kind of got a lot of things going on, guys. There's a lot of different projects, a lot of different stuff, but always excited to be doing them, because it lets me be me and be creative. So don't know if I have anything else I'm gonna add. Actually, wait, I'm gonna add one more thing. Sarah, come here. Sarah. Oh no, she's gone. Sarah, no. But she does have this cool little bee thing she's working
working on. So I'm gonna add this into the vlog. There's the bee's butt, that's the bee's face, that's the bee's stripe. So yeah, it's not done yet, but it kind of looks like a pill. So yeah, that's everything right now.
All right, guys, I got 3 super quick updates. Number 1, I have some coffee and I'm starting to feel caffeinated. Number 2, I trimmed my beard. It looks good. Number 3, it happened. I got the hose. So this is an Iwata hose, and what's awesome is that Brandon is one of the awesomest guys I work with. He's super amazing because he brought in his collection of hoses, and we took a look to see what would actually fit what I have. And what I have is this. This is a Badger 175. This is something my dad bought before I was born, and I bought an adapter for it that adapted to this 1/8 end. Now, I also bought the Copic airbrushes you saw before. What's great is that they are the exact same connector, so they're both 1/8. So what's great about it is we figured out what hose I needed to connect to my air compressor to these, and yes, it works. So if we grab this and screw it on, it will work. I could turn on the air compressor, and now I can use both the Copic airbrush and Badger airbrush with the Iwata hose. Really, really cool, because when I bought this adapter, I was really bummed that it didn't fit the hose that I had, but it ended up working out in the end. You gotta love how that works. That's just awesome. So connecting them, it works. I'm super, super excited. I'm definitely gonna be starting to learn how to use these things because, one, airbrushes are really cool. One of my favorite artists of all time, H.R. Giger, was famous for his use of airbrushes in his pieces. It's a great way to add detail. It will make me a more versatile artist. It's something that my dad wants me to learn because I'm really excited to actually figure it out. But yeah, so as you can see, it all is connected. The only downside is that the compressor that I have doesn't have an on and off switch. You just have to turn it on and off by plugging it in. So if I get up and plug it in, I could actually start using this. I gotta take off the cover and actually load paint into here. So, you know, there's that. But the cool part about it is that with the Copic airbrush system, what's so great about this, and it really shows you just how the Copic sketch really is like the preferred and the one that everyone likes. I think every other brand under the Copic thing is just like out of like obligation because they started it. But yeah, like this just makes it super versatile. Now I can just grab any marker I want, attach it in here as long as it's a Copic sketch, and start using it as if it's an airbrush. It's a little awkward, I'm not gonna lie. I kind of feel like I want to hold it like, I have to hold it like this, but I kind of feel like I want to hold it like this to try. Either way, very excited to actually start to use these, so I had to show off that piece of loot. It also is really nice the way that this setup worked out, because the way that it looks right here, because for one, I did find a use for that Mario mystery block, but I also have my sketchbooks in here, my kind of finished sketchbooks, and the compressor is right there with the hose, and then I can just attach it here when I'm done. Obviously, like fold it and, you know, make it look nicer, but yeah, the fact that this worked out super well, that they're this close, oh man, I am so happy. And I originally didn't have the compressor there. I had books there, so I'm glad I moved things around. And yeah, this studio, it's a small space, but man, I am using it as efficiently as I can, and I can't wait to make some art with this. I'm super, super excited. So I'm gonna have some coffee, keep editing, and then we're going to just make some art and have a good day today. Purdy, 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 can that fit a full-size grown man? Can it? Can it?
You could.
Look at this. This is the joy and intenseness that this would bring me. And the fact that it has an RC bat cycle, a catwalk, that, Sarah.
You could probably squeeze yourself as best you can into that, but we'd have to cut you out.
Hear me out when we have kids. We did it, guys. We did it. I am at the end of the month and I have not bought any more Copics. I did buy something because of Copics, but it's not Copic related, so I'm very happy. It's Copic adjacent. Purdy, would you say what I bought is Copic adjacent? Purdy.
No comment.
No comment?
No comment.
You plead in the fifth. You playing Minecraft?
Trying.
This is why I love you. Anyway, so piece of loot I have is this. This is acetate, which is really good for making stencils, for doing layouts, because it's a very thin, very clear plastic. And so what's great about this is that you can create masks, you can create different cutouts, you can use this for a variety of ways. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use this for when I do spray art and I do all kinds of stuff, that this will be a great way for me to create a stencil from the character so that I can properly map them out or put in shapes using airbrush techniques, because I am so excited, guys. And that's why I'm saying this is Copic adjacent, because I'm having a lot of fun with the Copic airbrush. Now, yes, it is taped. I will explain why. But the thing is that, you know, at the end of this month, I've learned a lot. For one, I learned I have a problem with alcohol markers. I have an addiction. I will be doing a full review of all of the alcohol markers, by the way, so you can get an idea of how many I have. Not including the ones I gave away. I have no idea how many I gave away. I gave away a lot, though. So we're going to talk about that at the end so we can close the vlog on this, because I am definitely in this my Copic addiction, because I have way too many problems, because I bought way too many Copics. But with that said, though, this month, pushing myself artistically, I'm really proud of what I've made, and I'm really excited for the future plans that I have. But also just kind of doing more with materials I don't normally use. Like, for example, using different types of varnishes, using different spray techniques. The fact that I'm now getting into spray paints and spray paint effects is really opening a new world for me that I previously didn't have, because I wasn't close to them, but I didn't feel like I had the room or the space or the ability to really explore them as much as I wanted wanted to, but here I feel like I have that. And the fact that now I have a hose to use my dad's airbrush. This is my dad's airbrush. It's a Bachelor 175. I love this thing. I really can't wait to start learning how to use these things. One of my favorite artists of all time, H.R. Giger, used these in his illustrations. Dude created the Xenomorph, bunch of other macabre stuff, but his work and his technical skills are amazing. I just hit the desk and nope, I didn't crack my watch, but I thought I did. It shows you how passionate about this I am, because I am so excited. I talk with my hands, you know, I'm Cuban, Puerto Rican, what do you expect? But here's the thing, I really can't wait to start to learn this. And so our airbrush guy, Brandon, at work is going to show me how to use airbrushes. We're going to work together. And I'm really happy that this adapter that I bought a couple months ago worked out. I'm really excited that I can use this in conjunction with this. So this is the Copic airbrush. Now the Copic airbrush comes in 4 different ways to buy it, maybe 5, though I couldn't find a picture of it, but I did see a listing of it. So there's going to be 5 different ways to buy it that at least I know of. There could be a 5th one, comes with a different can of air. But essentially what this is that you have the air grip itself, which is this plastic part, the air grip and the adapter, which is what this is. I absolutely love how these are the exact same, so I don't have to worry about other hoses or anything with the compressor. The third version is the air grip, the adapter, the hose, and a can of air. And I believe there's another one that's just the compressor and a can of air, but I couldn't find pictures of that. I saw it listed, so that's what it is. So it's probably out there. Maybe it was discontinued. I don't know. But the other one I saw was air grip, the adapter, the hose, and a compressor that you can buy. That one's really expensive. What's great about this is that this comes with the adapter, so you can use your Copics in here, but you can just attach it to any hose. This is a 1/8 hose. So what's really interesting about this is that this was really frustrating for me to use when I first broke it out, because it wasn't working at all. I thought it was defective. I thought it wasn't working. This is a very ingenious way it works. So there's no spring in here. Yet when I push this, you can see that this pops up as if there is. So the way this works is that this has essentially like a nozzle that goes straight out that you screw in here. Then this plastic runs all the way through until there's a screw here, and that screw is where it pivots. So the hole, and this is where it gets really cool, so the hole is kind of like this, and when you push this down, you're actually moving the hole. It rotates it down to be in line with that nozzle, and that allows for the air to come out. The tricky part is that if you screw this on too tight, then it will constantly shoot out air and it won't work. But if you don't screw it on tight enough, it will be too small to actually reach the hole. So you have to tighten it in the right way. It has to be just tight enough to work where it's not shooting out air constantly, but not far enough that it won't actually connect. So that's why I just taped it. It was really frustrating. I was just disappointed, because it was like, man, I'm so excited. What am I doing wrong? Did I get effective one? I was really just frustrated. And when things don't work how they're supposed to, or they magically stop working, that's when I get really frustrated. So the fact that this was doing that, it was really bothering me. So I brought it back in. I was going to return it. I was actually talking about this with Lily and Matt, who are 2 of my coworkers, and then it suddenly clicked on me. It clicked on me that the way that it moves, the way that it pivots, and I said, you know what, I'm not going to return this. I'm going to take it home and I'm going to try it one more time. And I messed with it, and then I figured it out. And this is opening a new world of what I can do with alcohol markers, because I love alcohol markers. They're my favorite way to color. I love watercolor. I love gouache. Inking is my medium, but when it comes to bringing my comic art to life, Copics and alcohol markers are my jam. They are what I go to. I love mediums that are transparent, that you can build up. It's really ironic because ink is such a solid medium. It's a permanence to it that's really you don't see with other mediums. Ink is one that you can't really layer as well as acrylics. Even acrylic inks can struggle with it. The fact that acrylics can layer so well, and ink you don't have that. You have that permanency to it. And I like transparent mediums. I like mediums that I can layer and build. So it's interesting how when it comes to solidifying the art, I'm an inker. That's my medium, but I prefer transparent mediums to color. So it's kind of interesting to me. I think that's really what it's an observation I had the other day. So this is opening a whole nother world of things that I can do with this. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to learn to airbrush. I'm so excited to try this out. I'm so excited to bring out the sprays. Like, I feel like a new level of art of, I was going to say autism. Sarah, stop. I've never been tested. I've never been tested. Gonna say a new level of like artistic mediums or artistic skill, or just a new level of just new things I can do in art has been unlocked, and I'm so excited. You guys see the excitement, because the thing about like the vlogs, the thing about my channel is that it's me. It's not a phase. Like, maybe I'm a little more goofy, maybe I'm being a little more funny, I'm intentionally being a little exaggerated, but for the most part it's me. It's almost 1-to-1, and I am so passionate about it. I love art so much, and this is my favorite thing about art, is discovering new things. And when I look at it, there's a couple mediums I haven't tackled. I haven't tackled pastels. I haven't tackled acrylic pastels. I haven't tackled oil paint. There's still so much for me to do. And as much as I love gouache, I still can push gouache further. I can still grow with gouache. I can still use gouache more. It is something that I love so much about art, is there's so many facets. There's so many different things you can do, and there's so many different mediums, there's so many different styles, there's so much to art, and I love exploring it, and I love doing this, and I want to do this full time. So with that said, you guys have watched, what, an hour and a half vlog of me rambling about stuff I bought, about Copics, alcohol markers, about art, but I want to thank you all so much for listening to me being a madman with art, because this is my passion. This stuff means the world to me. This is how I express myself. This is who I am. And thank you all so much for just listening to me be a nerd on YouTube branding about markers, because that's who I am. So subscribe to the channel for more art and animation based content. I got some videos that I need to work on. I got some art I need to create, and I am just so excited. So thank you all so much for watching. Y'all thought I forgot to show you guys the collection. Now I know there are bigger alcohol marker collections. I know there are bigger Copic collections, but this is my collection and I'm really proud of it. So here it is. These are 4 Spectro Noir shelves. That's right, not 1, not 2, but 4, and each one can hold 72 of them. Now just to read you guys some facts, I have 100 Prismacolors, 1 Spectro Noir, 14 Winsor Newton, 6 Blick, 2 custom ones I built, 157 individual Copics, not including duplicates, 165 Copics total including duplicates, 8 duplicates in total, 16 chow, 6 refills, and 143 individual sketches. And here's the crazy part, because this is 4 Spectro Noir shelves and each one can hold 72, that brings my total marker count to 288 markers. And every spot is filled. That's an impressive collection. It's actually really bad because if I need to get any more, I have no room. And I have some watercolor markers from Winsor Newton that I haven't tested yet, which is why they're not in here. I'm actually saving them for review, that I have no idea where I'm going to put them. This is an impressive collection because this is my collection. And I've spent a couple years and I'm really happy that I have it completed. Eventually, I will be phasing out the Prismacolors to put more Copics in. So don't know how long that process will take, and I always have a bunch of extra grays because I burn through them so quick, but I am so proud of this. This is an incredible collection. I'm very happy with it. Again, there are better collections, but this one's mine. And again, thank you all so much for watching.